Alright, let's be real for a second. How many of you have handed over a smartphone or tablet to your kid just to get a moment of peace and quiet? No judgment here. We've all been there. But here's a question. Have you ever wondered what those endless hours of scrolling might actually be doing to your child's brain? Sure, it keeps them occupied and gives you a break, but could there be more going on beneath the surface? Spoiler alert, the answer is yes, and it's not all good news. So, grab your coffee, maybe take that tablet back for a few minutes, and let's dive into the serious and sometimes surprising effects that social media can have on your kids. Before we dive into today's topic, don't forget to like this video, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button for more content that helps you. Let's get started. Number 1. Reduced attention span, the goldfish syndrome. Remember when your kid could focus on building that Lego masterpiece for hours? Yeah, those days might be numbered. Social media is like a buffet of quick bites, memes, videos, posts, all designed to grab attention for just a few seconds. The result? Kids' brains get so used to jumping from one thing to the next that focusing on anything longer than a TikTok video becomes a challenge. Ever tried getting a goldfish to sit through a full movie? Exactly. Number 2. Sleep disruption. Let's talk about bedtime, or rather, why it's become bedtime-ish. The blue light from screens messes with melatonin production, which is basically the brain's way of saying, hey, it's time to sleep. But when your child is glued to their screen late at night, their brain says, sleep? Who needs it? Cue the late-night zombie walks to the kitchen for water and the morning struggle to get out of bed. And let's not even get started on how that affects their mood and performance at school. Spoiler, it's not pretty. Number 3. Increased anxiety, keeping up with the Kardashians, or whoever. Social media is like the ultimate highlight reel. Everyone's life looks perfect. But here's the kicker, your child might start to believe that they need to live up to those impossible standards. When everyone else's life seems so flawless, it's easy for kids to start feeling like they're falling short. This comparison game can crank up their anxiety, making them feel like they're always behind, even when they're doing just fine. And let's face it, nobody needs that kind of stress, especially not a kid. Number 4. Lower self-esteem, the like trap. We all know the drill, post a picture, wait for the likes, and feel that little dopamine rush when the notifications start rolling in. But what happens when they don't? For kids, not getting enough likes or comments can feel like a personal rejection. Their self-worth starts to hinge on how much attention they're getting online, which is like building a house on quicksand. One bad day online, and their confidence can crumble faster than a cookie in a toddler's hand. Number 5. Addiction, the scroll hole. Ever notice how kids can scroll through their feeds for hours without even realizing it? That's not by accident. Social media is designed to be addictive. It's like falling down a rabbit hole where one video leads to another, and suddenly it's dinner time, but your kid's still stuck on the couch. This kind of addiction doesn't just eat up time, it can also take over their mind, making them crave the next like, comment, or video more than anything else. And let's be real, that's a hole none of us want our kids to fall into. Number 6. Decreased creativity, where's the imagination? Remember when kids used to play with cardboard boxes and turn them into spaceships or castles? Well, those creative juices might dry up if they're spending all their time consuming other people's content. Social media is great for inspiration, but it can also turn kids into passive consumers rather than active creators. When they're constantly watching instead of doing, their imagination muscles start to weaken. So, instead of building their own worlds, they might just scroll through someone else's. Number 7. Cyberbullying, the playground gets meaner. The schoolyard bully has a new playground, and it's online. Cyberbullying is a whole new level of mean because it doesn't end when the bell rings. It follows kids home, and it can happen anytime, anywhere. One nasty comment can spread like wildfire, leaving your child feeling isolated, embarrassed, and scared. And because it's online, it can reach a much larger audience instantly, making the sting even worse. It's a harsh reality, but one we need to be aware of. Number 8. Impaired social skills, face-to-face us, but it also disconnects us from real-world interactions. When kids spend more time chatting online than in person, they miss out on developing crucial social skills. Reading body language, making eye contact, and holding a conversation are skills that get rusty when not practiced. The result? Your child might be great at sending emojis but struggle with a real-life conversation. And last I checked, job interviews don't happen over Instagram DMs. Number 9. Fear of missing out, FOMO, the everyone's having fun without me syndrome. Social media has a sneaky way of making everyone else's life look like a non-stop party. This can give kids a serious case of FOMO, fear of missing out. They see their friends hanging out without them, going on trips, or achieving milestones, and suddenly their own life feels boring by comparison. This can lead to a cycle of anxiety and sadness, as they feel like they're always on the outside looking in. And that's a lonely place to be, especially for a kid. Number 10. Distorted body image, filters everywhere. Filters and photo editing apps can turn anyone into a supermodel, but they also set impossible standards. Kids are bombarded with images of perfection that don't actually exist in real life. This can lead to them feeling dissatisfied with their own appearance and going to extremes to try and match these unrealistic ideals. Whether it's extreme dieting, overexercising, or even considering cosmetic procedures, the pressure to look perfect can have serious consequences on a child's body image and self-esteem. So, the next time your child reaches for their phone or tablet, maybe take a moment to think about what's really happening. Social media isn't all bad, but it comes with some serious risks that can have lasting effects on your child's brain and overall well-being. As parents, it's up to us to set boundaries, encourage healthy habits, and make sure our kids are growing up in a world where they can thrive. And hey, if you found this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, go ahead and give it a like, share it with that parent friend who needs to hear this, and hit that subscribe button because let's face it, you might need a break, and we're here to help. Think of it as your daily dose of parenting wisdom, minus the stress.